Token Metrics is a cryptocurrency investment platform that helps users leverage machine learning to become better crypto investors. Our in-depth analysis helps eliminate the emotions of investing, find profitable investment opportunities, and filters out scams. Learn more at tokenmetrics.com.
We are live. Welcome to the Market Update. I'm your host, Bill Noble. If you need a roadmap in crypto and you need to make money in crypto, up or down, subscribe to this channel. Turn on the alerts so you know when we're going live, right? And of course, if you like the content, please feel free to give us the thumbs up and hit that like button. All right, so we're not doing our usual time today. So we appreciate everybody understanding, particularly everybody up late night in Europe, if you're out there. We decided to wait until after the Fed decision came out and they did what they're going to do. So the UK is still here. We appreciate that. Fernando, all right, got me some. It says it's a fake breakout. Okay, Vchain, let's go. Aiken is here. So is Bull Runner and Edwin from Canada. Routine Cheese, hello, right? Corona, California. Is this the WAGMI post-Fed rally? Is this the we are all going to make it? Steve J, Taz, always good to see you, right? Are we going to make it? Is it going to be all right? That is the question that we will answer today. Okay, Eastern Tennessee is here. Okay, Wisconsin, right? All our friends from all over the world. John thinks it's still a bear market, right? We have people coming in from Asia, getting a little Notorious love there. Thank you. All right, Romania and Austin, Texas, Charlotte, right? And of course, the UK, along with GB, Great Britain. Okay, other people are saying, hey, the bull market has resumed. Okay, overseas buying of crypto, possibly. Okay, Houston, Connecticut, and all of our friends are here. So the big question is, okay, Puerto Rico is here. Don't forget those guys. We appreciate you over there. All right, let's go over what the Fed actually said. So I watched the announcement, I watched the CNBC talking heads, and I always, this time I listened to Powell. All right. Now, what is the first thing Jerome Powell did when he got up to the podium at his press conference? Well, he said, I would like to address the American people, right? And he basically, in a very empathetic, professional way, said that I understand that you're in pain over inflation, and I want you to know that we're going to do everything we can to help you out. All right. And then a reporter later in the session asked why he felt the need to do that. And he dodged the question, meaning he didn't really answer it. But to me, it seems obvious, right? He's basically apologizing for two things. One, that they haven't stopped inflation. And two, they don't seem to have any interest in stopping inflation until like the election cycle is over. Keeping in mind the U.S. midterm elections, meaning the U.S. legislative or Congress, our version of parliament, right? The elections are in November. Coincidentally, real QT, quantitative tightening, aka the reduction in money printing, doesn't start until September. So you mean they're going to leave the economy and the inflation to run hot until the election? Because if they did it now, they would wreck everything. So no 75 basis point increases in the Fed funds rate. In other words, they're not going to get medieval with that. They're going to stop printing money a little bit, but the major reductions that would wreck everything are not until September. Now, is that a license to speculate, or is this crypto's defining moment, right? In other words, if the printing press stays on and crypto has rallied, is it going to continue to rally? So with that said, okay, Bull Runner notes, yes, I'm still wearing the red shirt. And Matthew says, can we feed the bear? All right, well, let's talk about that. And let's go into your market update, right? And then we'll look at the charts and we'll talk about it. Crypto's defining moment, okay? So, oops, there I am. Crypto's defining moment. And what does that mean? Well, it means when I look at my Gann work, there is a possibility. I saw this around midday. So when I have stuff like this going on where I have to talk about charts when, charts are not on people's minds, right? It's like the Wild West. I go to Gann. And I saw that today could have been the reversal day. In other words, if Bitcoin goes up and keeps going up, and Ethereum too, that the bear market could end. All right. Now, the flip side is if Bitcoin and Ethereum fail and we have our failed rally rule, what happens then? Okay. That could be absolutely awful. Okay. Because what's on the line here is, does the Federal Reserve have credibility? Right? Because he was asked that in the press conference. So let's dive in and we'll start with stocks. So you may have gotten a hint from previous market updates that people wanted to buy stocks. That the problem, I've sort of shifted my view. The problem isn't with stocks necessarily, right? Now, stocks have been destroyed like ARK, that's ARKK, the altcoins of the stock market. The individual who manages this investment company has been getting threats. So that was a surefire sign that the move in this might be over, the down move for the moment. At least people seem to like they want to buy it. And of course, as soon as the Fed came out, frankly, I thought no matter what he said, right, unless he was going to get really aggressive, they were going to buy stocks. All right. Now, this is the S&P. This is very different from ARK. Now, why would people want to buy stocks? Just generally speaking. Well, one of the reasons why people would want to buy stocks is because they think stocks will hold up better than bonds. In other words, if you bought ExxonMobil or some high quality stock, right, it's almost like buying Bored Ape. You're just buying this really high quality thing. Okay, so for whatever reason, I think that reason, they wanted to buy stocks. So crypto was kind of already up, and then the Fed came out and it wasn't a disaster, and everybody was like, okay, goody, let's buy stocks. How long can that last? I don't know. When the guys in stocks really want to get it going, it can last days or a week, right? Some guys think longer. So stocks used to be the enemy of crypto. They may still be, but they want to buy stocks because they want to get away from bonds. We'll talk more about that later. When you wake up tomorrow, for our friends in Europe who are going to get up and see this morning their time, when S&P opens, you're going to want to watch 424 in SPY. So they wanted to buy stocks. They think stocks are safe. Okay. So if they are, right, the S&P stays above 424. That's SPY. That's the ETF for the S&P, the tradable version. All right. 424 will be the key level. Now, let's talk about interest rates. Somebody asked me what they think is going to happen, what the most important indicator is, right, about bonds, right? Like what's the thing to watch? And I put my trading view up here and I expanded it. US 30Y, right? That's the yield on the long bond. That's the inflation credibility number. So if that number is stable, it's above 3%, or it was, all right? If that number is stable, crypto can do okay. If that number is not stable or starts rising, then financial instruments are going to take notice. Because remember, the inflation number is coming out soon. So maybe the Fed knows what the number is and he knows the number is okay. All right. So if US 30Y is below 3%, that's good for crypto. Okay. Now let's talk about support and resistance levels so you can navigate crypto. 2978 is a key level in ETH. I think if ETH is above that level, the market's probably okay. If ETH fails either at 2978 or 3000, then you need to, reevaluate position. So Aruna is asking me, sell in May, is it still valid or not? Okay. And William Taylor is saying I'm wrong again. Well, I thought I got the whole down move right. All right. So we've had a big bounce today off the Fed. Should you sell in May and go away? This is how I would do it. You wake up tomorrow morning. If the market rallies and then fails, sell in May and go away. In other words, if you see this rally fail badly, get out. If it doesn't fail badly, it's okay. All right? Always reduce risk on green days. If it's a bull market, tokenmetrics.com has this huge site that can give you all kinds of ideas to get back in. But I'm not going to buy ETH at 3,000 because there's resistance there. Now, Bitcoin, right, resistance is at 40,200. So, we got a pretty heavy rally coming. There's probably going to be more upside as the day closes because I have a feeling people really got caught short, and I'll tell you why. Okay. Now, this was from earlier today. This is from the Microstrategy earnings report. What's Microstrategy? That's Michael Saylor's company, the famous computer executive who took his little tiny software company, borrowed a lot of money, and bought Bitcoin, or so we thought. Now, I had analysts go through this company's balance sheet, income statements, financial reports, and it looked like they just held plain old Bitcoin. Okay. Well, guess what? Apparently, according to Seeking Alpha, okay, they have Bitcoin derivatives. And they have a point where they can be liquidated. Now, that's very far away at 21,000. Okay? Very far away, or so you would think. Now, the first thing I thought was, hey, wait a minute. He doesn't own physical Bitcoin. He's got leverage on his balance sheet, and they admitted it today. So if Bitcoin fails at 40K, the next move could be 20. Because I know crypto YouTube right now is online saying new all-time highs coming up. So if there's a reason to sell in May, it's because guys like Michael Saylor may have to start like lightening up their positions, right? Or hedging. Because they own they are leveraged. That's not Bitcoin physically. Most of it, I guess, some of it is leveraged. Now, why do I care about this? Well, MicroStrategy stock is done so badly that it's back to where it was in December of 2020. Now, in December of 2020, Bitcoin was materially lower, down at 20K. Okay, so why is MicroStrategy trading so badly, right? Is the market worried about their Bitcoin exposure? All right, so on the Bitcoin weekly chart, the good news is Bitcoin is above 38,600. So if Bitcoin is above 38,600, everything is okay. If it's not, okay, you timestamp this right now. If Bitcoin is not okay, this story may end with Michael Saylor having a problem with his position. All right. So a couple things here. We have DXY looking good for Bitcoin. It is, right? It is. And that's good. All right. That's good that the dollar came off. A lot of profit taking selling in the dollar, which is going to help crypto. All right. So let's talk about Bitcoin some more. Now, a lot of smart people have parked money in Bitcoin. So for the week ending April 26, net longs in Bitcoin were very big. So people are buying Bitcoin. They are parking money in Bitcoin, right? And that leads you to ask yourself, are you safe in Bitcoin? The question to ask, the time to ask that question is not when Bitcoin's down 5%. The question or the day to wear the red shirt is when Bitcoin's up 5% or 10% or whatever it winds up being. Okay. Are you safe in Bitcoin? Are you safe in a world where the Fed has basically passed on fighting inflation? So first they told you it was temporary and it wasn't. Then they apologized to the American people because they're not going to fight it until September. So that's good for the short term. But what is the long bond? What are long-term interest rates? Remember how I tell you that they can vote? You know, they can vote on the Fed. What happens if they get thumbs down? Let's think about it. Okay, Avalanche. So good news for people in Avalanche. The resistance above the market is not until 75. So if people got caught short and it stays above 62, there's a possibility for it to go higher. Like a lot of people got bearish on this after it went down. So the squeeze potential in Avalanche is there, right? Solana is probably got resistance at 95. So if Solana takes out 95, that would probably be an indication that you can come in and start buying altcoins and get the whole thing turned around. Okay, Near Protocol, right? So this is a fundamental coin we like. If it gets above 1320, this can really go up. Okay, we have an accumulation cone in Near. Okay, Near has been moving back and forth in this confined range. So if the market is turning around, right, your Solanas and your Nears can do really well. And we've got 3 other altcoins that we're looking at, as well as stuff for Token Metrics on Altcoin Overtime. Now, probably the best looking altcoin we can find, believe it or not. All right, this is from the guy internally who he originally found Helium, then he found Steppen. Now he's back to Helium. So there has been an epic give up trade in this coin. Epic give up trade. Okay. So when Helium fell below 12, right, that was probably a long-term bottom. A long-term bottom. Meaning Helium has a shot with fundamental catalysts, with things being built on top of it, for this coin to go much higher. So if there was something out of nowhere where everyone was like, hey, you know, let's do some value investing. It may be Helium. It may also be Matic. I didn't put that chart up. But Helium and Matic, specifically Helium, may come back. Now, I'm also keeping a close eye on GMT. Right now, everyone was like, all right, this is a lot. This is great. And then everyone was like, it's not great. And then everybody kind of forgot about it, actually. But if this company fixed its tokenomics, where people are incentivized to buy the sneaker NFTs and then work out and get paid, right? The new sneaker NFTs, you need GMT to buy them. So if crypto takes off, GMT could go to 450, and I've heard about guys talking 6. A lot of times with crypto, right, you get paid to buy the small dips, right? You don't get paid to buy, it goes all the way up, and the big dips. Normally, that doesn't work. But the small dips, it usually benefits you. So think about GMT, all right? And that is the market update PowerPoint version. All right, so let's let's flip over and let's do some requests. All right, we're going to start with Bitcoin and ETH, and then we're going to move out into stuff that I know you have an absolute burning desire to see. Okay, Nashville's here. Appreciate that. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on the 90-minute chart. Okay, so as this comes up, can you guys see it? All right, hang on. We're going to get the screen up. All right, so while we work on that, okay, I've got the whole screen here. Excellent. Okay, so here's Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of DeMark resistance around 39K, right? So that's going to matter, right? Notice, interesting, how this 9 top didn't work. I thought this was going to work, and then, wow, did everybody get stopped out, okay? So Bitcoin at 40K obviously matters, right? Now, ETH, interesting, right? It gets to the top end of our little resistance bands here, okay? And obviously, there's a lot of resistance. There's resistance at 3,000. So this could be a new uptrend in ETH, okay? But every time it's been up here, okay, it's failed, right? Okay, let's go to GMT. So GMT looks interesting to me. So let's say the market goes up, right? You know, there's a 13 bottom here, and this thing has made a base. We're talking about 90-minute charts. So this could be very interesting to look at, okay, particularly if you think the market is going up. Okay, Matic. Now, we talked a little bit about this, right, about the support at $1.05. Okay, you had a nice 9 bottom here, $1.05 held. That's what held the last time back in October. And then this is obviously a nice looking green candle. So believe it or not, Helium and Matic ride again at Token Metrics. Okay, play it again, Sam. Ha, that's actually the name of the guy who found these coins originally, along with Ian Bellina. All right, let's go to ApeCoin. All right, ApeCoin's been a mystery, but there is something interesting going on here. So I'm noticing that ApeCoin, the 62% retracement of the entire up move is at 1497. Okay. So one thing you'll notice when you start drilling down into a lot of these altcoins is they're pretty close to technical levels that make them attractive, right? So if you're like, you know what, I don't care about interest rates. I'm sick of the Fed. The trade's over. I can't deal with it anymore. You know, if the market doesn't fall apart, you know, Ape was a buy at 14 last time. So if the market fails here, you know, obviously Ape's going to do poorly, right? And it has not paid to buy the bigger dips, but it is near support. So I should probably bring that up. Now, let's talk about Luna. Right? This feels a little disappointing to me, right? There's the 13 bottom. It went down and then reversed, but it looks like people are selling it near 89. Okay, now I know I saw somebody asking about Phantom. Okay, so Phantom hit the bottom of this like Gann and DeMark based resistance bands. And I find it really hard to be negative on Phantom at 79 cents. Phantom is like Matic and Helium. It's just like it's kind of so beat up. It's like, you know, really, can you hate it that much? All right, Sandbox. Sandbox has the 9 bottom. All right. Now, you didn't know if this was a failed rally or not yesterday, and they're taking out resistance at 233. So Sandbox does look constructive. All right, let's look at Gala. All right, so we may have talked about this yesterday, right? About gaming and about how this thing was like sitting down here. And I was like, okay, you know, this is not one of these coins that you want to be short or be bearish on when it was down at this level on this band, because this band has held 2 or 3 times. So if it's over, right? If it's over, then this thing can go ahead and go up. Right. The question is, what do things look like tomorrow? RMRK. Okay, so the good news about RMRK is that it's at the bottom of a daily resistance band. So if this is crypto's defining moment, then crypto can go all the way, RMRK can go all the way back up to 16, right? Now, the thing you have to be, I don't know, at least aware of is that RMRK, like on the short-term charts, you know, is RMRK now out of this range? Like RMRK did the fake out down here, right? And now it's up here. The question is, does RMRK stay above 9.5? If RMRK is above 9.5, it's good. All right. That means you don't have a failed rally. It means you have a breakout. All right. For our friends who like KDA, okay, so like all altcoins today, right? KDA looks like it's breaking out, and it looked like that here and here, and it looked like it was going to break down here, but it looks like it's still in this band. Now, if it's not in this band anymore, right, and 414 acts as support, then KDA is going to go much higher. Okay. So if you want to dream, the big dream, right, for KDA, this is the bottom, right? Because you've had bottoms here. Okay. And then the upside target is around 6.8. Now, as I've said before, it looks amazing. Now, if it looks amazing, okay, the question is, it will look amazing today. Will it look amazing tomorrow? Like when people realize the Fed is not fighting inflation, are altcoins the thing to do? So we have LDO, all right? So let's take a look at Lido DAO, all right? So if you look at things in a range, LDO came to the bottom of its range. Okay, if I go over here and try to get it up on the DeMark charts, all right, so very interesting. LDO has to get above 334. So there have been several attempts to get above this level, and it hasn't made it. So if it does make it, it's good. All right, let's go to the 4-hour chart. Okay, Johnny Ice Cream is here. Welcome. Right, please hit the like button. All right, one good thing about LDO is that, you know, it broke through 3, it came back, and it's holding, right? So it does have more work to do. Most likely you're looking at least, you know, probably one more really good day. So there's a lot of hope here, right? But let's go back to the daily chart. Okay, there's all this trading below 334. So it's got to get through that. Taz would like Litecoin. And I like to like me some Litecoin. That's bad English, but all right. So Litecoin cannot get below 100. It can't. It's almost like Bitcoin really can't spend a lot of time below 40 before it comes back there. So Litecoin could get itself all the way up to 114. And if this is crypto's defining moment, right? If this is the moment where everybody goes, oh my God, I got to own crypto, because they're not going to fight inflation. This is something we haven't talked about. And I think Litecoin could be one of the ultimate leading indicators. Okay, let's check digital cash, because somebody yesterday was asking about Nano. Okay, so again, the chart in Nano honestly couldn't look any better, right? You've got the 13 bottom here, and then you've got the extended give up trade, right? And this huge puke below 2. So the digital cash world, like, it's funny, all this old school token metrics stuff, right? Like Helium, Matic, Nano, right? Interesting that, interesting that there would be buy signals in those coins. Okay. Sky Largy, hi. I am well, thank you. Okay. KNC Trauma Unit. Okay. I know there was a big guy on Twitter after this coin. Might be able to look at this on Token Metrics. Okay. So you got the 9 top on the daily chart. Okay. Support is at around 3. Let's see if Token Metrics, because our system was all over this for, all the way up. This and Maple, we just, I don't know, we couldn't get enough. So what we can do is we can look at how the grade is moving. So as you can see here, right, the yellow is the Token Metrics grade. So while the grade was high, so it went to 80 and stayed there throughout the whole uptrend. Now the grade is coming off as price is coming off. Now my experience is when you have these trends, right, and when these trends end, then that's the time to exit. All right, so let's go back to KNC. So our system said take profits, and the question is, should you be done with this? Like, is it over? All right, so it didn't quite get the 62% retracement. Oh, there it is. So if you look at the whole rally from $1.50 to $6, okay, 315 was 62% back. So this is an important chart. The question isn't, can you buy stuff that's destroyed? Honestly, it's a lot easier to buy, I don't know, like Matic, Phantom, Helium, Nano, maybe even Litecoin, right? Because they're like destroyed. But stuff like this is what Zcash looked like, and Monero, right? And it really didn't, Rune too, Vchain. It didn't necessarily pay to buy the dip. Now, has something changed, right? Will it pay to buy the dip? Maybe. Or a lot of times people just move to the next hot altcoin. So if you're hosed in this, right, this is how I would play it. Let's go to a 4-hour chart, because I'm sure you're going to see the 13 bottom on the 4-hour chart. Okay. So there's the 13 bottom, right? It's kind of classic. This is classic DeMark, right? Everyone gives up, and then if it comes back above 373, that's like an intraday point generated by the 13 bottom, then you know it's okay. So this could be another good barometer for the market, right? Look, it's easy to buy it up 5%. Is it? Right? Are we going to walk in tomorrow? Will you be watching this tomorrow with Bitcoin up 10%? Another 10%, right? Will Kyber go with it? If Bitcoin is up another 5%, obviously all these cryptos are going to go with it. That's if you believe you should be buying strength. Like, when has buying strength worked? Okay. Someone says DXY is puking. Let's take a look at that. So DXY did get to the high end of its range and it's coming off now. Okay. So this is a big boost to crypto, right? This will help crypto. Of course, DXY was really overbought. So let's take a look at the intraday chart, like the 89-minute chart, right? So it's possible that DXY is breaking down, right? In other words, the Fed really isn't going to stop fighting inflation or start fighting inflation until September. So if DXY continues to trade like this and Ethereum bursts through 3,000, it's great. Now, frequently, like I said, right, you get these breaks above it, and then you get these breaks below these ranges, and sometimes they come back. So, let's wait and see. One thing I have been consistent about, because somebody was giving me a hard time for being wrong. One thing I did tell everybody is, you know what? It takes 24 to 36 hours, right, to sort out whether or not, the market agrees with the Fed or not, or the market approves of the Fed, or whether or not the Fed has done something that's like market friendly. Okay, so Zilliqa, everyone gave up on the 4-hour chart. So another give up trade, kind of epic, right? Resistance is up here at like 0.093. And the eternal question with Zilliqa is, if you look at the daily chart, okay, so there's the 9 bottom. There's a critical moving average. There's a 13 bottom. So if Zilliqa is going to like rise again, let's draw the fib number here. Okay, if Zilliqa is going to rise again, it's going to got to get above that 9-cent level. Oops. Okay, so that 9-cent level seems to be very important, not as much so on the Fibonacci retracement. Obviously, the 13 and the 9 bottom is what's giving you this rally. Upside in Zilliqa, if everything is up tomorrow morning, is probably at 11 cents. Okay, I have XRP and Cardano. Okay, so here's the 4-hour chart of Cardano, right? Wasn't a big fan of being bullish at $1. Definitely not a big fan of being bearish down here. So here was the 13 bottom in the give up trade, right? And the trade is all the way back up to 89 cents on the 4-hour chart. So if people mean business in Cardano, you'll know because they'll take out 90 cents. Okay, like this is like the Cardano God candle after the 13 bottom on the daily chart. Okay, so one thing you're going to want to see is there was a 9 bottom down here and a huge rally, right? And then you're going to want to see, a lot of times with Cardano, when they do the whole rally in one day, right? Like over here, sometimes it fails, right? Like Cardano usually does really good when it rallies slowly and then accelerates. But there are bullish signals down here, so I get it. It could go back to $1. Best thing to notice is crypto up tomorrow? Has it turned, right? Has the Fed said the inflation number in 10 days, if it's going to be okay? If that's what the Fed has said and, the market picks up on that, then Cardano is either going to $1 or $1.20. Okay, let's go back to Bitcoin. Oh, right, XRP, sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at XRP. So, I'm noticing a pattern. Like here was the 13 bottom in XRP at 68 cents, and it got totally destroyed. And now it's coming back to resistance around 67 cents. Okay, if you look at the XRP daily chart, right, there's the 9 bottom, the brutal fake out, and now it's coming back. So one thing I've said about XRP, right, it's like, you know, at 60 cents, right, that's the bottom of the range. And then the top end of the range is 90 cents. Right? And it just zooms back and forth inside the range. That's probably the best case scenario. The worst case scenario is, you know, you have a situation where the SEC is hiring more crypto enforcement cops. Okay. And that doesn't sound XRP friendly to me. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at this symbol. Okay, this might have been a token metric stock, right? I'm sorry, token metrics token. Upside in this symbol. Let's see. Not enough data. So let's go 89-minute on FitFi. Okay, 78 cents is the key level. Okay. So it is very possible that stuff like this that's been trending higher keeps trending higher. Now, let's just take a look at some of the coins that we had on our watch list for Token Metrics and see if there are any big winners in there. Okay. XCAD is really moving today. All right. This coin had showed up in our indices. Let's go to like a 4-hour chart. Okay, I'm a really big fan of the All Exchange Index. Now, I'm not sure if XCAD is still there, okay? But, you know, interestingly, this coin is providing an example, right, of something that hit its 62% retracement and then came back, okay? So this could be a very powerful example that something in crypto could be turning around, okay? Bobby says this pump could be too good to be true. All right, well, it's probably hard for you to see this, but NEAR is up 7% and Avalanche is up 12%. So it looks like they're really, really ramming it to the shorts. Okay, now let's just go back to Bitcoin briefly. Okay. So Bitcoin on its like little 89-minute chart took out the top of its range, right? And I think this is the more telling chart, right? So this was the catastrophic failed rally, right? That was, I think, the Arnold Schwarzenegger icon on our YouTube site called Get Out, right? Altcoins fell apart. Bitcoin sort of slumped. And the question is, do you want to buy crypto up 6% in May? That's a pretty big question. Now, if crypto can go up, it's crypto's defining moment because the Fed's not going to fight inflation and stocks are going to go up. Just be mindful if you walk in tomorrow morning and the bond market doesn't like the inflation number, okay, that's coming up in a couple of days. So let's try to be mindful of that. Right? Because 2 or 3 days ago, everybody was really upset about where their positions were. Okay, Audius. Okay, Denial says, I think this is it. Big potential upside. Dude, you could be right. Saw it again work this morning. I'm like, damn. Right? And then they just took off. You know, and that's the way it could be. Okay, so Hex. A lot of people asking about Hex. Got sort of admonished for looking at this. I think some of this positive price action has to do with a fork that's happening, but the uptrend is decent and there's resistance at 20 cents. So I'm not sure I'd be a buyer of HEX here as a speculative play unless there's something going on that I don't know about, right? So it looks like resistance in HEX. Okay, DeFi perp, a great trading instrument. Okay, so this is DeFi perp. I don't know if we should look at the 4-hour or the 8-hour. So if we look at the 8-hour, DeFi perp's got a lot of room. It's got a lot of room, right? I mean, this is like, this is like 6,600 is where DeFi perp could go, right? And that's probably back on the fact that Chainlink was down at 11 and no one was interested. No one wanted to buy Chainlink down at $11, right? Even though Chainlink is a classic and probably, like Helium and some of these other coins. Now, on a 4-hour chart of DeFi perp, I think the key is you got to get above 6,350. So the key with a rally like this is, does it extend more than one day? I'm sure you're going to have monster short covering at the end of the US session in probably like 2.5 or 3 hours, right? So I'm sure it's really going to go out on a high note. Okay, look over Audius. Okay, let's go over here and type in Audius and see what we get. Okay, so Freedom Cat wants to know, is this just the fake out pump before it goes back down? All right, well, when it comes to the Fed, right, we don't know what the market fully thinks of it for like 24 to 36 hours. All right, so let's go through Audius and then I'll give you a better answer to that question. It's something you've heard from me before. So we talked about this, how Audius, how they just destroy it, right? So there's the 13 bottom on the 4-hour chart, right? So everything gets destroyed, right? You get the 13 bottom, and really what Audius is doing, it's kind of coming back to home. Home is like $1, right? Like, how much time has Audius spent above or below $1, right? It goes to $1.50, it goes right back down. It goes to 60 cents, it comes back to $1, right? So Audius loves to sit at $1. Now, is this a fake out? Well, I mean, I didn't have time to go out and buy a green shirt, so I'm still wearing the red shirt. I didn't opt for another color, and here's why. Why am I wearing the red shirt still? Because the days to manage risk in a bear market are the days when the market looks so amazing. So amazing, right? So if you've got positions that you're not happy with that are up 20% today, and you wake up tomorrow morning and they're up another 5%, ask yourself this: can I handle it if this rally fails? Now, if you can handle it, you can leave it. And maybe this is crypto's defining moment and I can buy a green shirt, right? But if the rally fails, ask yourself this question: why did the Federal Reserve Chairman begin his press conference by apologizing to the American people? He was apologizing for what's happened in the past and probably what's going to happen in the future. What will that mean for interest rates, and how will that affect speculative assets? Okay. Remember how I told you that people who are into bear markets are like, they're like mean and angry, and they're like, I'll sell every rally. I'm not like that. I want crypto to go up. But what I want more than that is I don't want you to get wrecked if the rally fails. So the beware of failed rallies. Don't turn your back on the bear. All of that is still in effect. Let's go to Vchain. Okay, so Vchain, amazing rally after the give up trade, right? Like, this is a 4-hour chart. 213 bottoms, doesn't hold, all the way down, like right at 4.5 cents. And then you get a rally to resistance near like 0.053. Oh, man, would I love it if this was like a permanent bottom in Vchain, okay? But really, all Vchain has done is gone back to where it was before the give-up trade started. Let's go to the daily chart of Vchain. Okay, somebody likes the new layout. I'm glad to hear that, right? Trying to get somebody out, whoever was out there saved me. I'm trying to keep my face centered. It's really good for the guys who cut it up for TikTok. Oh my God, look at this. This is like Vchain paradise. So you get the 9 bottom, and then you get this monster up move. So wouldn't it be awesome if Vchain turned around and went to 8 cents? Okay. So that's the sort of the trade-off, right? The trade-off is, okay, do you want to be the guy who sells the first rally off the bottom? Well, you don't have to be, okay? You can let it ride. I mean, if you suffered with Vchain, I certainly would leave it at this point. Just be mindful of the failed rally. If the thing rallies tomorrow, see, the God candle today is one thing, right? Because it's so oversold, right? Vchain, in order to break out, has to get above 0.06, right? So if that happens, then Vchain is good. We're here for crypto because it makes money. Okay, King says, don't fall for the trap. Okay, Cody is on a moon mission. Okay, so if I'm looking at this right, this looks just like Vchain, right? It bottomed in March, it went all the way up, and it came all the way back, right? Let's see if there are any token metrics details on Cody. Okay, so the grade's low, but that's to be expected because, stuff has gotten hammered. Let's look at the trading view on this. Okay, so this is very interesting, right? There's a list of altcoins developing, and we've been looking at altcoins all week. Okay, so right here around 19 cents, there's legitimate reason to think that this could be breaking out. Let me see what the DeMark works got on this. Let's go to like the 4-hour chart. Okay, so I think you get excited if it takes out like basically 22.72 or 23 cents. Now, just as a note of caution, right? Token metrics grade still pretty low. Check that in the morning, right? If this thing fails at 23 cents, right? Each time it's failed at 23 cents, it has gotten hammered. So I understand if you want to believe in your coin, right? Believe in yourself, believe in your coin. I'm all about that, right? You just got to watch out because, as I said earlier, there are guys that may need to sell or hedge. And I think the Fed just basically declined to fight inflation. Like, it just, when I look at this, I'm like, I remember a reporter asking the Fed, they're like, Mr. Powell, if you apologize to the American people about inflation, how come you're not getting more aggressive now? Now, Powell did a good job of answering or deflecting that and sticking to his talking points. And I can appreciate how tough his job is, right? We'll know soon whether or not he's giving risk assets a party summer or whether it's sell in May and go away. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep the red shirt on for now. Hopefully, I can lose it next week. Okay. Okay. OGN. Somebody's asking if Decentraland is still a thing. I read something really disparaging about Decentraland, right? Like when the metaverse came out, they said Bitcoin was boomer coin, right? Now I'm understanding that people are calling Decentraland like they're calling it like boomer metaverse. It's kind of amazing. Okay, so on the 4-hour chart, this is all very similar, right? You get the 13 bottom and you get the big relief rally. Okay, let's look at the daily chart. Right, Sean is saying this is still going to be volatile, right? It is. Right now, again, you have to understand it's logical to have an up day after you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red candles. The other thing that you don't know about today is whether or not it's just a simple retracement. It's just like a plain Jane bounce in a trend, right? Like, you know, are we retracing 23% of the last down move? So you have a big thrust up tonight. You maybe have a gap open tomorrow because I'm sure they're going to be after stocks in the morning, right? That's when you'll know, right? Because remember, if stocks start going up too much, the bond market is going to look at that and they're going to decide in the bond market about the Fed's inflation fighting credibility, right? Gold could also be interesting here, okay? Right. I bet because I've seen a Fidelity in the metaverse ad on Decentraland, right? So if Fidelity is in Decentraland, I bet everybody's going to try to buy ApeCoin to get in the Bored Ape metaverse. EDG, I don't have here. Okay, so this is probably breaking out, obviously. Okay, let's see if I can get token metrics details on EDG. Edgeware, I believe. Is that what we're looking at? Okay, if we're looking at edgeless, all right, we'll find out which EDG we're looking at soon. Okay, let's go to look at Algorand because Algorand is, I think, is moving, right? Are the venture capitalists out of ammo in Algorand? Is the pain in Algorand over? God, I sure hope so. Okay, so perfect 19, 9, and 13 bottom like we discussed, right? Basically, it's coming to resistance around 73 cents. I don't know if I can get anything on token metrics. All right, let's see if we can like draw a bottom. All right, so you could make a case that the recent bottom in Algorand was the bottom and it's going to turn around and attack $1. So right now, I'm sure the token metrics grades, you got to wait until the morning most likely. But, you know, the grades are low, but you want to start to see anything that's up, you know, how does the grade change? So I think there's actually a lot of hope in Algorand. That's how I would play it. Okay, Zilliqa we did. I have it right here. Okay, so here's Zilliqa all the way up, all the way back down. This is a daily chart. Zilliqa probably has to get above 0.0088. Excuse me, 0.088. All right. I would not mind taking a shot at this, right? In other words, sometimes, like all year long, it is not paid to buy the dip. Like it didn't pay to buy this dip here. But if this thing can actually take out resistance and show and prove itself, this might be worth a shot because they unwound the entire trade. This is metaverse on demand. Okay. The other interesting thing about Zilliqa, I think, if I'm seeing this right, is that Zilliqa is now back above its prior high. So it took this out and ran all the stops. And now if it can get back above, right, I can't quite make that level out. I think it's 0.088. The question is, does it pay to buy these big declines? If crypto is taking off, this is probably a coin to look at. Okay, Cardano pumping hard. Okay, let's go back and look at Cardano. We have OM. See if I can find Mantra DAO. Okay, so here's Mantra. Okay, with all these altcoins, you have to be careful of these spike rallies, right? Normally, I don't like seeing these double spikes. Now, that said, okay, if the sellers are out of ammo, this could turn higher. Normally, I don't like playing coins like this, unless there's like a big token metrics signal. But if you're long it, right? Okay. Now, interesting, the grade is actually creeping up. So this is very interesting now, right? The grade is at 70 on the daily and the weekly. So this has like a bullish creep to it on the token metrics grades, and sellers may be out of ammo. So I normally don't like, these spikes don't look very big. All right. But if we do some extension work here, okay, this has got upside potential, not investment advice. Okay. Casper. Okay. No one's asked about Avalanche. I know Taz wants to do Avalanche. Okay. So Avalanche has got to get above 70, right? It's got to get above 70. You're probably going to have, I don't know, another day or so of upside. Okay. Avalanche between 70 and 75, I'm pretty sure is where our AI, let's see what's on the Avalanche daily chart. Got your back, buddy. Okay. So there was a lot of congestion at 75. I think it would be glorious for Avalanche if it could get to or above 80, right? But there's a 9 and a 13 bottom. And like I said, a lot of this stuff that was destroyed is not the stuff to get bearish and get short on. It's not, right? If you're going to get bearish or get short, it's Bitcoin or Ethereum, things where you think you're safe, right? This stuff, it's a completely organic, natural retracement rally. So we'll see what it does. Okay, perp. Okay, so I'm very interested in this. Perp's got a 13 bottom and a 9 bottom, right, at 275. So when they give up on perp, that is frequently the best time to get in. And I know there was a pretty big give up trade in DYDX as well. So let's look at the DeMark work and all of these derivatives exchanges, right? Like DYDX, if speculative fever is coming back to crypto, there's a 9 bottom and a 13 bottom. I mean, oh my God, at the start of April, this was at 725. They sold it all the way down to 3.5. So when you look at crypto like this from the bottom up, there are a lot of bottoming signals in coins that everybody gave up on. Okay, Woo Network, something that Novogratz was very into, right? I don't know if they destroyed this too. They may have. And again, there's the DeMark 13 signal, right? So 13 bottom, and then you turn around, so this is a very good look when you get something like this. Okay, Felipe, definitely appreciate that. And let's go to Frax. Okay, nobody home there. Okay, not working on our site. Let's try TradingView. Okay. So this, like a lot of other things, it is taken out, it's coming back into the middle end of its range. Okay. So the upside is 39 if that's what it wants to do, right? If we're having a breakout in crypto, speaking of that, let's just check where the market is. So Avalanche now up 12%, right? Solana up 7%, ETH up 6%. So one thing I don't think I ever addressed with ETH was this idea that, this Elliott scenario about the wave 1 and the wave 2s, right? So if you want the sell in May and go away scenario, like think about ETH for a second. Like this rally got sold. This rally got sold, right? This rally got sold, right? And they got sold pretty much immediately. Not totally immediately, but, the big rallies, it maybe sat up here for like a day or two, right? This one got sold almost immediately. Keep in mind, this is an 8-hour chart. So 3 bars is a day. So with ETH, right? If ETH is below 3,000, I think you got to be careful. Like if I owned a Bored Ape, like I heard Elon Musk change his profile picture, I saw the floor on Bored Ape go up to like 116 ETH, right? God, if I owned one of those things and I had money parked in art, because like if you're worried about financial assets, art is a really good place to put your money. Okay. Now we'll have an NFT debate maybe another day, but if I owned a bunch of NFTs and you showed me ETH at 3,000, okay, I would hedge at 3,000. I'd be like, you know what? I'm going to lock in the currency risk on my NFT. This is something that nobody has talked about. So if there are sellers in ETH at 3,000, that'll be why. If there's no sellers in ETH at 3,000, then I can go get a new shirt. Okay. I know if I go and get a new shirt, you guys are going to give me 1,000 likes. I'm going to get that 4-digit like count if I get the green shirt. But I have to get the green shirt and be right about the turn in the market. Because it's funny that somebody came in and gave me some shit today, but that's all right. That's all right. So Cardano, okay, here's the God candle higher, right? Mooning hard, headed for possibly 98 cents. Now let's go back and let's look at Cardano on a 90-minute chart. We haven't done a lot of stuff on the 90-minute charts, okay? So Cardano failed up here at 90 cents. Like this was where the big failure was. All right. So I want to like Cardano and the Cardano community and being popular with them is an excellent way to improve your fortunes on YouTube. Okay. However, I will remind you, okay, that if you look at the DeMark Elliott wave tool, this is A, B, C correction. So that means the primary trend is down, and this is an ABC correction. Now, what does that mean? Okay, well, that means Cardano is too cheap at 73 cents and probably too expensive or, not exciting at $1. At 90 cents, it's kind of in the middle of the range, right? So home for Cardano is between 90 and 97 cents. And it's understandable that they would stop here, right? Because that's where the thing failed from last time. So home for Cardano is between 90 and 97 cents, unless, we're looking at some kind of failed rally. Okay, a patient person has been asking for ALCX. Okay, let's get that up here. Okay, so it looks very constructive on the 8-hour chart. Okay, clearly a give up trade here, but there have been so many, right? Like people have been giving up on this for so long, right? See if there's anything on Token Metrics on this. Okay, so Token Metrics grade, obviously super low, right? And the question is this over? I mean, it's coins like this, they get so destroyed. It actually gets really hard to draw this kind of stuff. Okay, I would say there's no way to tell whether or not this is over, right? What I can tell you from TradingView is that there's support at $62. All right, that's the line it's been hugging as people have been giving up. And if there's life, they're going to come back to the prior floor around 91. So if this is crypto's defining moment, then there's going to be a monster move up to 91. Okay. Honestly, right? You have to ask yourself, if this thing rallies, is it time to get out? Right? Okay. Okay. The Hex community would give me 100 likes if I wore a Hex shirt. Well, believe it or not, I actually interviewed with Ian Bellina. I actually interviewed Richard Hart once. Very interesting conversation. Very interesting individual. All right. I think my boss wants me to stick to things that look good on TV and things that have the Token Metrics logo on it. Okay, I'm going to try to look at Vchain. Okay. So 529 is a key level. Okay, let's see if I can pull something on Token Metrics from this. Okay. Okay, on Vchain, like I said, it looks like right around this level of $5. Am I right about this? No. Okay, there you go. It's not $5. It's like $4.75. So DeFi chain collapsed from this level back in December. It returned there, and now it's hugging it. So if you're looking for a place to hide, okay, I'm cool with that, right? This rectangular price action, you know, that's not the worst price action in the world if the market holds together. Okay. Like one of the things I'm looking at, keeping a close eye on is Solana. So I know people come and go. We want to just definitely welcome anybody who's coming in. Okay. All right. So here's Solana on a 4-hour chart, right? So, you know, it didn't pay to get long Solana here, and it didn't pay to get short Solana here, although this was pretty violent, right? So sometimes when they take out the bottom, they turn around and they take out the top. So maybe, you know, Solana's got resistance around 94. Maybe they get it up there. Okay. But you just got to be mindful of whether or not something is still in its like downtrend or whether or not a real breakout is happening. Yes, folks, please hit the like button out there. Okay. Welcome to anybody listening in Asia. Welcome to a post-Fed Token Metrics after hours stream. If you like it, feel free to comment or just hit that button. Okay, so Engine Coin. Again, we're playing the channel game here, right, on the 4-hour chart. Like, is this a breakout, right? Or is this like just a correction or visiting the high end of a channel? Let's look at the DeMark chart. Sure, we're going to run into something that says, hey, it's way oversold. Okay, someone's asking for the spreadsheet. Okay, so Engine Coin on the daily chart, okay, you went to $1.28 is resistance. Again, you know, you've got this 9 bottom and this huge puke out. All these coins are going to come back, okay, and retest, right, their old floors. Okay, Shade Protocol. Okay, let's see if I can find Shade. Okay, Shade Protocol. Okay, so not a lot of price action here, but you're definitely coming off a low. Okay, let's go to like a 4-hour intraday chart. And throw in an RSI. Okay, so Shade Protocol. Okay, Shade Protocol makes a new low recently. Like this was May 1st. Okay, and it did not make a new high. Matter of fact, Stochastics made a lower high. As a matter of fact, this has been going on in Shade Protocol for a long time. So I know this is probably a very low cap coin, but this is possibly an explosive setup, right? Because this whole area here has just been a giant give up trade, right? And if this thing is actually turning around, right, especially with this recent divergence here and some of these decent candles, So there's a case for Shade Protocol. Okay. Okay, somebody was asking about the spreadsheet. Okay, I'm going to turn off the screen share for the moment. Pull up the spreadsheet. Okay, so every day, just in case anyone's wondering, we have an analyst that goes through Token Metrics' site every day. One of the things that the analyst does is check Token Metrics. Hopefully you can see this. Okay. So every day we check Token Metrics and we're looking for column C. So this is normally what we do for altcoin over time. What we're looking for is coins that have moved in grade before they've moved in price. Okay. So some of these things are very low cap. Okay. We'll see if I can get them to come up. So TRR is one of these coins. Okay. The grade has kind of shot up. See what the chart looks like. So it's a super low cap coin, but it has gone up a lot. So our AI loves momentum playing coins. Now, so we have JRIT, okay, something that uses Binance Smart Chain, okay, REI, right? Let's take a look at that. And the other thing that we do, so we take a look at stuff, right? And we see how the grade is performing, right, relative to the price. So it looks like the grade is in yellow and the grade has shot back up again, right? Price chart, again, is mega low cap. So one of the things that we also do is we've got a watch list. So on this side, right, we have linked cells. So I can pop it up on Token Metrics. And what this is these are all of the coins from, like, say, this week or the last couple weeks that we've looked at, right? That we're checking to see the AI identified them, right? And then we look on Token Metrics to check out whether or not, they're in the green. Now, as you can see, a lot of these mega low cap coins, right, that had the grade surge, when the market turns around and comes back, a lot of these small caps, they go up a lot. They go up a lot. Okay, so this is an example of, like, the power of Token Metrics. Right now, we can't go through all of these, but if you do want to screenshot off the video, right, it won't go above 200% zoom, but this is the list. Now, Hex is in that list, right? But I know there's like a Hex fork going on, right? There's Flex Coin, right? Flux is in there, but I don't know if it came off. Okay. And then I think with Token Metrics, this is really just sort of like showing off. I have no idea. Our system found this low cap coin that a lot of our premium members got into. And I don't know if this is the right symbol or not. No, it's not. There is a coin that went from $0 to $13. Okay, let's see if it's on the VIP. There it is. Guardian token. This is actually worth hanging around for. This is why we're combing the site. Okay, the token metrics grade on this went above 80. And if we remove, it's like a micro cap. And if we remove the market cap filter, it will actually produce these micro caps, which, our private group is, that's like higher net worth guys, right? And gals. Okay. So the internet's slowing us down here. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's Guardian token. There's 4 or 5 tokens like XDC, right? That rank, the rank is moving up. And what we check for, you see this green arrow? We check these green arrows looking for these super low cap gems. So one of the things that I've been telling people is, where do you hide in this market? Well, you got to find coins that go up even if there's macro uncertainty. All right. So that's our little bit of altcoin overtime. We've got this huge list of things. We definitely present these things to our private group, right? And our premium webinars. All right. So that's going to be it for today. No, Casper was not on that list, but I know you stayed to check that out. So sorry, I'm going to interrupt my outro. I know we have people who waited for Casper. Okay. Casper's got to get above 0.072. 0.072, a nice 9 bottom on the daily. All right. But frequently when you get 9 bottoms, you do get some kind of counter trend rally. That said, with Casper, it's 9 bottom, 9 and 13, rally, back down, 9 top, back down, 9 bottom. So let's just see how big the thing is pumping before we sign off for today. So ETH up 6%, hanging around 29.35. Okay. So we'll see what happens with that. Total 3. Wow. How short did people get in altcoins? Yikes. Right? People got liquidated. Okay. But if you look at this on an 8-hour chart, right? Total 3 has been zooming back and forth. So when total 3 gets here, right? This is like 680 billion. That's the test, right? You can get a 1-day rally off a Fed relief rally. And the question is, when you wake up tomorrow, is inflation over? Is it over? Is inflation over, or is the Fed over for not fighting inflation? We will find out in the morning. Now, to sum up our view, it takes 24 to 36 hours to sort out what the Fed has done, whether they've done it right or not. Today was an obvious relief rally because I believe there are components of stocks that are so oversold, right? And people are looking to park money anywhere they can. Stocks, NFTs, right? Why are they doing that? Because they're afraid of what could happen in bonds. They're afraid of what could happen in bonds. And if bonds get hurt, crypto gets hurt. If bonds are good, crypto is good. Stay tuned to find out if I actually do go out and buy a green shirt. This is Bill Noble. I will see you tomorrow.